I could do nothing but walk. And then I saw me walking in front of myself.
Death Stranding revealed, and it's a horror game. For those of us that were fortunate enough to play PT, we know how much potential Kojima has to create an incredibly frightening and unsettling horror game experience. I believe that since Hideo is working with Ritas and Del Toro again, the two which were also involved with Silent Hills, it's not a far-fetched thought to imagine that he would, after the cancellation of Silent Hills, still be wanting to make a horror game, since that was what they set out to do in the first place. And a horror game is something that fans have been very vocal about as well. People want a scary game. We also have to keep in mind that Kojima has for the longest time trolled his fans. I feel like anything goes and anything is possible. The name might not be Silent Hill or Silent Hills, but it's gonna be that game. That is what I believe.
Sparta existed. How do I know? Well, I met the sons of Sparta. Both of them. Though the same blood of their father flowed through their veins, the two battled each other fiercely like arch-enemies.
Devil May Cry 5. It's been a long time coming. The last game in the series, Devil May Cry 4, released in 2008. That's 10 whole years ago. Hideaki Itsuno, which is the director of Devil May Cry 3 and 4, has on Twitter teased a new, great upcoming game. There is a chance that it could be a new IP, much like Dragon's Dogma, which he also directed and which I heard great things about, but it seems more likely that it's a new DMC game, since there is already a demand for it. It simply makes the most sense from a business standpoint as well. Personally, I'm a Devil May Cry 1 elitist, meaning that I keep DMC 1 in a higher regard than the rest of the game in the series. I don't deny the greatness of Devil May Cry 3, I really enjoyed that game too. I just think that Devil May Cry 1 is a better game in just about every way. Still, a Devil May Cry 5 by Itsuno is something that I would buy day one and spend a great amount of time playing and enjoying for myself. Please expect. Shenmue 3 and Final Fantasy VII Remake gameplay. These two games were announced at the same time back in E3 2015. We haven't seen much from Shenmue 3 and the game was pushed back to 2019, which as far as I'm concerned is a good thing. Quite frankly, I am happy that they're taking their time, and I trust Yu Suzuki to make Shenmue 3 just as good, if not better, than Shenmue 1 and 2. I'm gonna take a very interesting example, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which was kickstarted before Shenmue 3 was announced. That game still does not have a release date, and that's a 2D Metroidvania type of game. So it seems obvious to me that a game like Shenmue, which was and still is groundbreaking, is gonna take a lot more time before it's ready to go. As for Final Fantasy VII Remake, supposedly Square had a third party working on the title, which Square later thought that they didn't do good enough of a job, so they fired them and they developed the game in-house instead. I don't know how far they've come, but have a feeling that they will show some gameplay, because it feels like it's do or die for the title, as fans get more restless and skeptical, myself included. Square are aware that fans won't accept another Final Fantasy 15-ish development cycle. After overviewing most of the info out there, and along with the recent leak from 4chan of all places, I am now convinced that it will be a new IP that is set in Japan, much like Onimusha or Nioh, I guess. For some reason, this is almost more exciting to me. Don't get me wrong, Bloodborne is probably my favorite action RPG of all time, but think of it this way. If FromSoft managed to make the Victorian era look so bizarrely beautiful, imagine what kind of game they could do in a Japanese setting. It's like, I want to see some katanas slicing through some horrific and fucked up looking creatures while I hear something like this playing in the background. I am officially on the hype train now. On board the hype train, rather.